Well, hello there. It's your buddy, Admiral Teag, and we're here to do an uninformed reaction to the Wakanda trailer, movie, and Fallout. Two uninformed men, and with me is my friend, Captain Petty.
Why, thank you, Admiral, for this promotion. It's well deserved. As you all remember me, I used to be Lieutenant Petty Officer H. Nelson. Now I am Captain H. Nelson, still being petty. So, this non-review is about why we have not seen Wakanda Forever, which I
After weekend 2, because remember, weekend 1, we were told by TikTok we weren't supposed to see it.
We're supposed to give it legs.
Well, no, we weren't supposed to see it weekend 1 because we fall into the colonizer class.
I'm white.
I am white, but I'm Latino, so I'm Spanish. I'm pretty colonizing.
So I can't see it week 1 because I don't want to be. I cannot have seen it out of guilt. I have to see it out of curiosity.
So we did our part by not going, but we didn't pull through on the part where we bought tickets for black people and just gave it to them.
Racism.
I was afraid for my safety on that suggestion.
Admiral, there's not supposed to be racism in the 23rd century.
There's not racism in the 23rd century, but when you and I went to go to see Wakanda Forever, if we see it, and we may, we're going to have to take the time temporal transporter to 2022, so we have to be prepared for their prejudices, Captain.
I vow to see it because I want to put my money and, of course, my opinions. Because once again, I am a white male, and that's all I contribute to the world, our opinions.
And you know what? What are we if not opinion machines? Us white male oppressors. And you know what? I just want to apologize for that right now. Had no control over it. That choice was taken away from me. I wanted to be a powerful woman, but this is what I ended up with.
I just want to apologize for everything that white people have ever done because that's my job.
Now that we've gotten that out of the way, this Wakanda Forever trailer, we're very divided about how we feel watching it. You feel somewhat moved to see the movie,
Would you like to go first?
Differently.
Because
Yes, you go first, Captain. And
I'll go
congratulations on your new command, my friend.
my opinion about this Wakanda Forever trailer is probably...
After we tell people that they should like or sub Admiral Teag.
Thank you for cutting me off.
Join the fleet.
As a captain, I'm still getting cut off.
I'm still in charge here.
In my heart of hearts, I would like to say this. I think the Marvel Cinematic Universe is a farce. I think it made me realize that I have not been a comic fan my entire life. I was a comic fan a lifetime ago. These movies are a waste of time. These movies are derivative, and they're ruining cinema. That being said, I think the Wakanda Forever trailer is probably, I would say, in the top 5 best trailers I've ever seen in my entire life. The emotion, the music, the editing, and it gives me something that I haven't felt in a very long time, and that thing is hope. This trailer, 2 minutes and 12 seconds, is the best movie that probably came out in the year of our Lord's Below, 2022, way back in the 21st century.
Right, and this is a 2.5-minute teaser trailer. We're not reacting to the full one right now, although that might just come on. We're not even really...
We're not reacting to any of it. We're trying to explain to you why we have not seen Wakanda Forever.
Weekend 2.
The reason why we haven't seen Wakanda Forever is because they took the best movie of 2022 and added 2 hours and 37 minutes to it.
There's this thing called life that I want to go live. I could have a pizza and see another whole movie and get back home in 2 hours and 40 minutes. What the fuck? How long was Top Gun? 2 hours on the nose? 2 hours 10?
It felt like it was about 16 minutes because of the entertainment value.
That was an entertaining movie, and the time in the theater flew by. Here in Wakanda, it looks like they had something going, and I think that the tribute to Chadwick Boseman probably works, but is that $20 and 2 hours and 40 minutes of my time, and is that a story?
It's very humble of you to think that would be $20. It's $18.75 for a ticket. Now,
right.
I go in style because I'm a captain now, which obviously has an elevated salary. So I want the stadium seating, I want the heated seats. I'm probably gonna go to the city. There's gonna be a meal involved, possibly a green skinned woman.
So that's $100 night, maybe more.
That's $100 a night minimum.
Okay, but that's any movie. But you're willing to take that risk for Wakanda.
Movies used to be events, my
that
friend.
That Wakanda Forever scene looks a lot like Blade Runner 2049, where
It does.
Jared Leto's killing people.
Well, these movies are made in a factory.
And we
What the
know
hell does
about
that
this-
mean?
That trailer was made by someone who cared about the source material. Not even the
A
source. The
really
source
good
material,
trailer house with a
It
really
wasn't
good
a really good
trailer
trailer.
editor.
It was.
Well,
in the
no,
top
it was a really-
5-10 best trailers I've ever seen in my entire life.
Okay, it's blowing you away. I'm seeing images here that
This is the second teaser trailer.
we've got now, in a lot of ways, things that we feel like, was this swapped out of Black Widow? Like, I can't get that out of my mind. Disney has built up a lot of small mistakes and done no damage control except blaming us for a long time.
Well,
And like, we're seeing Ironheart here, and do we even get that that's what happened when we see that figure, that shadowy figure slam down the hammer, and this piece of iron that's heart-shaped just falls on the floor? Ironheart is not in the trailer, and I'm gonna say, does that not suggest she's not really needed in the movie?
Once again, like,
or was added later?
You know what? I have a new deeming of this video.
And did you know about
Post
Disney's
predictions.
Did you know about the Disney president getting fired last night in the middle of the night?
I don't care, Admiral.
Well,
I
here's the
don't
thing.
care.
Listen to this quick story. This is the narrative that people have been saying since they went to one president in June of 22. They said that the two Bobs, Bob Iger, who's back now, was this crazy
good for
left-wing
Robert.
guy who wanted to be governor of California. And if you look back, there was a weakness there, and there was a recall election, and I think he was going to run from the extreme left, okay?
Recall elections always work in California.
Well, all I know is Gavin Newsom atomized the other guy in like 2 minutes, but I don't want to talk political too much. But let's just say we have to mention politics because this guy had political aspirations, and Chapek, he got labeled a Republican whether he is or not. Now, he's in Hollywood, so how Republican can he be? He's not going around talking about like AR-15s, and he's not wearing camo to work. But, okay, so he's a Republican by what people tell us. At any rate, all this stuff gets set up by Iger. He fills his writers' rooms with stunt cast writers like the people who wrote She-Hulk, which was an insult to every human being who spent time watching it. Now,
not myself.
he started
But that's
crossing...
the whole point of this episode.
But
We're talking about why we haven't seen
last
this yet.
month, he started crossing swords with Feige for real. He called out She-Hulk, and he started acting a little bit like the Warner Brothers guy who's been saying, fuck it, it's not making money, I'm not paying for it. So after a couple of weeks of looking pretty strong, there's always been this undercurrent that they're going to fight the Republicans, and Disney's jumping into like national politics and raising our children in a non-neutral way. Now, I have certain opinions, and I think you should teach your children whatever you want, but you should teach your children whatever they want. I don't want some blue-haired person or even some Harvard professor who is conservative on either end of the spectrum. I don't want someone from the new school talking about Zen basket weaving, or some fucking conservative talking about financial, conservatism woven into my fucking Marvel movie. Do you?
I don't want. That's the whole point. That's what I'm trying to get to. I don't want Marvel movies. I wanted these to be considered Marvel movies because as you know,
Well, Stan
I'm
Lee
an
is
expert.
dead.
I'm
We
an
can call it
expert.
fanfic.
I'm an expert of orchestrated combat.
You were wearing Marvel shirts before Iron Man 1. I knew you.
I feel like Iron Man always wins because they make the same movie every single.
But you had a
every time
Thor
of the year.
T-shirt before Iron Man 1 came out.
You didn't know that for sure, but that is absolutely true.
No,
whole
I knew
point
that
is,
for sure because I remember that.
As being a fan of orchestrated sports, when you cheer for the promotion and not for the individuals that carry the promotion on their back, there's a problem. You're not chanting. You're not cheering on the characters. You're cheering on the brand, and that's what the biggest victim of Marvel's branding are the characters. These aren't characters anymore.
They become cutouts, in my opinion.
Yeah, cardboard cutouts.
And conveniently recast. Now, listen, that rumor
Now,
that they
what do you
wanted.
mean by recast?
There was a rumor that at the second part of the Infinity Saga, as they ended it, for Infinity Wars is the second one, right? Oh no, Endgame. That for Endgame, and we saw traces of this and the beginnings of scrapbooking, which is using multiple scenes and moving them around from movie to movie as you want. Just to pick and choose, filming them ahead of time. When we see all the female Avengers sort of moving towards Thanos, that's the remnants of a cut ending where all the male Avengers die in the movie. All of them die, not just Stark. And the females finish off Thanos, and they reset the Pantheon to an MCU that's all female. and all the directors, all the writers except Feige who wanted this, revolted against it and said they would take their name off the movie. Unconfirmed rumor. Now, since
okay.
then,
I'm
what
asking
is?
if this is confirmed.
But here's the thing. Since then, what's happened to those male survivors except say
What's
Thor?
happened to the female survivors? Nothing.
Well,
These
Black
movies
Widow's stayed dead, but she
These
got her movie.
movies are treading water, is what I'm trying to say.
But what I'm saying is the swap out of all male Avengers for an all female Avenger thing pretty much did happen anyway. Because the people who fought for the ending we got, the team kill of Thanos, they walk. And Feige's what we got left. And I'm saying Feige is She-Hulk, Feige is Captain Marvel. He is not good stuff like... Even Ant-Man 1 is not Feige.
I wouldn't have a problem with any of these people call it gender swapping now. It's like She-Hulk in my heart of hearts when I was a kid. I remember She-Hulk. I remember She-Hulk being basically the original Deadpool, with the breaking of the fourth wall, the subversion of the comic book.
And you're in the age group it was totally written for.
It was, yeah, and it's brilliant. The She-Hulk show, it's not brilliant because they're.
That was a hard watch.
I once again, I haven't watched it.
If I hadn't committed to review it, I never would have watched it. And after the first time staying up till 3 a.m. to watch the debut live, I didn't give a fuck about the numbers. The show was offensive to my brain, and my brain at 3 a.m. was even more easily offended. I was like, I'm Disney. What's with the fucking 3 a.m. East Coast drop time? Most Americans live on the East goddamn coast. If you drop this thing at 9 p.m. Eastern, people at work at 6 o'clock Pacific will watch it at 8 o'clock Pacific time.
We're going to check
trust
those numbers in the 21st century where the per capita...
Disney never fixed their server. I suspect it was designed poorly from day one.
Like the MCU.
It can only be turned on or off at midnight.
Actually, sorry, the MCU was designed perfectly from day one.
By Paramount, I believe. And the parts of the MCU still held by Sony are not in as bad disarray, although...
Not yet.
Well, here's the thing. They've had some...
The floodgates are going to open.
There's a lot of failure to launch at Sony. Like Venom, failure to launch.
But they launched it twice.
They fucked it up
two
twice.
launches.
We'll see what they can do with... Now Marvel Disney seems to have Venom based on what we saw in Spider-Man No Way Home. But we don't know. They could hand wave that away. We don't know what reality he's in.
Now, let's get to the topic at hand.
That was the movie that brought me back to theaters.
But let's talk about why I saw the best trailer, one of the best trailers I've ever seen in my entire life, and didn't go see the movie. 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Just about as long as the Batman.
Does that sound like... That sounds like a professional wrestling show after the Lucha match went on too long.
How long is Captain America: The First Avenger that
I don't
boots
care.
this whole stuff?
I remember that movie
No, but
being
but
crap.
that movie
crap.
is pretty bad
These
until
movies-
it gets good.
Admiral, I'm sorry to raise my voice. These movies are shit.
Well, no,
These
Captain
movies are
America:
shit.
The First Avenger isn't the worst movie at all.
The first half is awesome.
It takes a long time for the movie to get going.
These
and
movies
I feel
are
it has a
shit.
good ending.
If you to continue to see these movies is the perfect analogy is Sideshow Bob from The Simpsons stepping on the rakes. No matter what direction he walks in, there is another rake, and he gets hit in the face. Whoosh.
And after a while, it's not him stepping on the rakes that's funny.
Commercial break is what happens.
No,
'cause
you
he
know
doesn't
what?
stop sitting
If
on
you
the
think about it,
stepping on the rakes.
The thing that happens to Sideshow Bob first is we get other people reacting to the fact that he's stuck in a circle of rakes, just sort of with their hands in the air, like there he goes again.
I have stepped in between the rakes.
But I think that there's more value in reviews, maybe not ours, but reviews here on YouTube and reactions than seeing this. And I feel that the reactions I've gotten from people I trust are, I've heard Mexican people being divided and insulted, and I think that signal is being boosted by Disney.
I agree. And also, like, first, this is not even a point about not seeing the movie. It's ludicrous of what the divide is in certain, because taking away from what people thought about the first Black Panther movie, seeing it like for any political scope to go see it. When I watch the trailer for Wakanda Forever, I'm just seeing people in heartache, people trying to overcome this heartache, and also see obviously a cultural conflict.
I'm actually
from
interested
the people from the Abyss, from Atlantia. I don't even know what they call it in this movie.
It's
and what
it's like Usa Vlafa.
and I'm pretty sure this is my guess. This is a post preview. We'll call it. I forgot what.
Yeah.
We'll,
How about a
we'll-
post-release, non-informed reaction?
That's not the point. I'm thinking we have a conflict.
See,
over...
this part to me looks low effort, even though it's a lot of money. Everything is
let
on
me
a
finish my
file on a
point,
server.
Admiral.
Sorry.
This movie is obviously over vibranium. Oh yes, okay. So we're watching the trailer as we're speaking. So the submariner Namor.
That's why I'm just reacting in
With
shock
his-
here and there.
That they actually use that he's got his
Flying mutant feet.
Yeah, and I've been told that he's been called a mutant.
Yeah, what's
In
the
this
deal?
movie-
You know the origin of Namor. Tell us.
Well, it's because they're working up to X-Men and Fantastic
No, but
Four.
what's the origin of Namor? The first time we see him,
there
and
is,
what is his...
in the comics or in
First time we see him, and what do we expect from him in
the-
general?
in the original timely comics in the 1940s.
Okay. So he's not a Stan Lee character, or
He is not, and neither is Captain America. Get the
I know that.
fucking skulls. by
That
the
I
way.
knew.
Anyway, so timely comics in the 1940s, before it was turned into Marvel Comics, Submariner and the Human Torch, who was a replicated man, again almost like an android, were at odds. So the point is, Namor's character, Namor, I like calling him Namor, whatever, is a very pompous leader, feels that whatever he says for whatever realm of Earth is the best for everyone. He also asserts himself upon Sue Richards in the his original appearance in Fantastic Four, which of course they reused the Human Torch character and gave him a new origin. So he's been around.
Ends up being Sue Storm's brother.
Is that true? No,
I think
Johnny
so.
Storm,
Right.
not
That
Submariner.
No, Submariner.
Yeah.
Well, we're mixing our metaphors here. Submariner, he's
from
Stan
the-
Lee
he's from-
wants to use him because he's
He
known.
tries
Is
to
he-
take over. He tries to take over the surface world.
So
by
he's a
using-
heel from day one.
Well, day one, because he feels like he knows everything better. He's like, my people have been underneath the water for so long. Our people are more advanced than yours. Why are we underneath the world and why are you on top? They actually use two gigantic sperm whales, I believe, in the original comics, not blue whales, which are obviously the biggest mammal on Earth.
We did see some whales in the trailer.
They use them as turbines to flood the surface world. One
That's
of them is
kinda
named it is very cool, and I guarantee you that this once again this is
Well, we
a
see
post
them using the
preview.
whales. That was sort of like Dune underwater, the way they were using the whales.
Not a Dune guy myself, but
No,
my
but they,
whole
you know how
point-
they ride the
Yes.
worms?
So
Yeah.
my whole
Doom,
sorry, yeah.
Doom 1985.
Yes. Oh, David Lynch,
Yeah,
baby.
that's a great movie.
That is okay. Misunderstood because you're not supposed to understand it because it's genius.
Right, that's right.
Anyway, back to why
He gets a pass on that. He really does. And we'll have to one day do a podcast just on Lynch.
Let's get to the meat and potatoes of why I didn't wait in line to see this movie. Admiral, did I tell you I wanted to see this day one?
Yes.
I did. Why didn't I?
It seems
2 hours and 40 fucking minutes. To
I-
tell me what? To tell me what? Star Wars, epic. A New Hope. I'm sorry, no. Star Wars. It's not called A New Hope. It's Star Wars.
Star Wars 77 is the only way to really get.
How
people to
long
know
is
what
that
you're
movie?
talking about. I would say 2 hours 5.
2
maybe?
hours and 10 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. So I was real close.
Yes.
Um,
Blade Runner, 2 hours and 5.
Independence Day, 2 hours exactly.
We're good.
Yeah,
I don't
but-
need any more than that.
And keep things
How many
simple.
subplots are going to be cut out of this movie? How many subplots do we not need to see? I
How
can't-
many remnants of subplots are going to leave us scratching our
How
head?
many interwoven bullshitteries for other movies that we're not going to see are woven into?
There will be dead ends in this movie that I'm going to hate myself for having remembered.
Do you
This
remember-
does this, and then it never comes up
I
again.
forgot which Marvel abortion it was. Where
They are abortions.
Where Thor is like half naked into this pool of yelling.
Is that when Russell Crowe makes him naked? That's Thor
That's
3?
That Thor 4 actually.
Is that Thor?
Love
Yeah, it is
and
Thor
Thunder.
4. Yeah, Love and Thunder.
Now I would love to do a Thor Love and Thunder review.
All right.
We're not gonna do
We're
that
going
now,
to sum up our
but
Marvel thoughts,
That
and then
was
we're going to.
that was the breaking point for my my hopes.
Was there a movie that poisoned the well for you? Was there a Last Jedi of MCU?
I'll explain to you. It was I didn't see Infinity War, nor did I see Endgame in the theater.
So you were
I do-
frustrated really early.
Yes. I was actually a fan of Thor 2 because I thought it was just completely.
I thought
OP.
Thor 2 had stuff going for it.
I saw Age of Ultron hammered, so I thought it was good initially. I actually said it was better than Terminator 2.
I would say this, they rescue Age of Ultron by having it be a major cause of problems in subsequent movies, but it's not great.
If you put a gun to someone's head, explain the plot, or like a normal person on the street, to explain the plot of Age of Ultron, and then to save their life after they had no clue what it was, put a gun to their head, explain the plot of the Terminator, I guarantee you their lives will be saved by remembering the James Cameron classic. These movies are not here to entertain you. These movies are it's cliffhanger after cliffhanger
to promote next big
and you're
thing.
screaming about cameos and you're screaming about what's to come. But then what's to come comes and there's more to come.
And you're damaging your bladder to see the mid-credit sequence.
There's no standalone. No one's coming here to do a tour de force, even though from what I hear, Angela Bassett does give a tour de force.
Yeah, she also looks great. I'm not afraid of 60 anymore.
Yeah, she's very beautiful.
She looks great.
Oh my god.
If you like really muscular black chicks, this is the movie totally for you.
If you love muscular black chicks, please look up Jade
this
Cargill from AEW, TBS champion.
I'm just gonna say right now, the trailer's easy on the eyes as far as a lot of beautiful women. Now,
the cinematography is actually.
I don't understand this deal with classic muscle cars and vibranium spears going through them.
Wait, is it vibranium? Could I possibly be right?
That's the only thing it could be.
I wonder if they're fighting over vibranium.
They are. Here's the deal.
I wonder if they're fighting over vibranium. I wonder if the smart sister from the first movie becomes Black Panther. I wonder.
Isn't it Maz Kanata the Black Panther now?
Maz Kanata is the space abuela from.
Right, but it's the voice of Maz Kanata is in this movie.
Know that.
Yeah, it's Lupita Nyong'o.
Oh, that was the sultry lady with the long hair, not the sultry lady with the short hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely right.
All Wakandans look alike to me.
Admiral, it's the 23rd century.
I'm just saying, they shave their heads. It's kind of hard. You had to distinguish
Admiral?
it. This is one of the people who had hair. No, if we take any group
all
of
admirals
people,
look the same to me. Expendable,
hey,
blue-haired individuals that dictate. You should work for Disney, Admiral.
I'll elaborate on that later. We're actually secretly funded by Disney so that they can use our comments to call people evil.
You said all Wakandans look alike.
Well, honestly, let's just freeze this here. We have 3 Wakandans in picture. They're all wearing Judas Priest leather outfits. They all have the same weapon, all have shaved heads, and there's 3 of them. We have multiples.
Obviously, you're not a Judas Priest fan.
I love Judas Priest up until the time Rob Halford really starts faking it live. And it can't deliver anymore.
I saw Judas Priest live last year. It was his voice in a crack. Oh, maybe. It was absolutely amazing.
Really?
You know what? I think you're thinking of Iron Maiden.
No, I saw Maiden and Bruce Dickinson was right on.
He was terrible.
I think we have to. Wow, this year he was bad.
Last year was bad. I heard it was great this year.
I saw them. I think was it with Heaven and Hell?
Back to your.
Dio was the best singer I saw that night.
Inadvertent racism. It's fine.
You can't be racist against Wakanda. It's not real.
Wakanda's not a race. It's a nationality.
It's a nation, and by the way, a nation that apparently does not allow
immigration. Ever since you promoted me to captain, I feel like my output, my cerebral output has been exponentially risen.
I'll keep that in mind when this becomes a democracy, mister.
Speaking of democracies, these 2 nations, quote unquote.
Yeah, okay. One of them, Wakanda, bows out of the UN in this movie. We watched it. She walks in there and Angela Bassett walks in there and tells everyone, "Get fucked. You can't have any vibranium."
Are we assuming?
No, I heard the critical drinker say it.
Okay, so I'm not going off of I'm going off of osmosis. I'm not going off of.
I watched the critical drinker's review, so it'll be fine. Here's the deal.
Okay.
I'm about to actually go watch. And I've seen this scene. She walked. Well, this is way up front, so I don't think I'm spoiling it here. And the conflict is over this. She walks in and tells the entire UN General Security Council that they don't give a fuck. They're not going to honor their vibranium agreements because Chadwick Boseman is dead. And because T'Challa was killed. Is that the father's name?
No, T'Challa is
Chadwick Boseman. Okay, so who's the father?
I totally forgot, but that's actually, can we...
So this
I
is
wanna arrive-
retaliation against the world.
I would
They're
like
not
to-
going to give you vibranium. By the way, how many children could they cure from cancer with the vibranium? All
I
of
don't
them,
know,
right?
but I'm pretty
All
sure.
of
We'll
them?
see if the Submariner wants to fix that. So let me
The
get to...
evil Submariner just wants everyone to have the magic
So
vibranium.
let me get to my final point. Now, obviously, the world had to say goodbye to Chadwick Boseman. Now, do you remember the PlayStation 2 fight from Black Panther, the first one, when they're
I didn't
underground
have PlayStation
on a
2.
monorail?
I-
No, I'm trying to say
I-
the CGI looks like PlayStation.
Actually, I
2.
have my X-Bone here, but I did not have
Admiral,
that
you're
one.
going off the rails. Admiral, I'm talking about the CGI looked like
Oh,
PS2
okay.
graphics.
Yes. Now that you brought it back up,
T'Challa.
There was some really fake shit in
T'Challa.
there.
Yeah, T'Challa. Should he have won?
Which fight? I mean, there's a few.
At the end. I think Killmonger should have beaten T'Challa. He was very militant. He wanted to keep the vibranium from the world. He wanted to take everything back. He wanted to assert the dominance of Wakanda. I feel like Killmonger should have won, beaten T'Challa, and the people of Wakanda would make him into a better leader.
Yeah, I'm going to say
And-
you're right, because right now
So
we have a world of speculative fiction here, but it takes place in a real world. So poor Chadwick
This doesn't-
Boseman
none
was
of
a
this
great
takes-
actor, gone too soon.
Yeah.
He was gone too soon.
Michael B.
and
Jordan is a great actor who's still here.
And Michael B. Jordan's still here. But the thing is, their performances elevate Wakanda 1.
Yeah.
Or Black Panther 1. And to be honest,
The movie was...
we see a
Six.
country that is not one you'd want to live in. I don't want the strongest.
America?
The strongest. Yeah, well, Wakanda. If maybe it is America because it's a feat of strength
It
to
seems
become
like a
their
very
leader.
military type of thing.
But we like
Not
even,
that working for a
even that
paramilitary
fight.
civil service organization is bad.
Even that fight far more grounded in reality than the one we talked about before.
None
In the
of this
hot
shit's
tub, in the hot tub, when he falls out of the hot tub, doesn't he land above the snow line after falling out below the tree line? I mean,
Once
he
again,
lands
I
higher
don't-
up than
I
he.
don't waste my time watching these movies anymore unless I have absolutely nothing to do. But now I actually have to put my money where my $18.75, my $100 where my mouth is.
I'm pretty sure that our YouTube microphone stays on because why did it just dial up Bruce Dickinson out of
Because
nowhere?
it wants us to shit on Bruce Dickinson and wants me to be right. And you
Sharon Osbourne hates him. That's a good enough reason to like Bruce Dickinson.
You're absolutely right. Does Sharon Osbourne like Wakanda Forever?
I bet you Sharon Osbourne would say worse things than I could ever say about Wakanda
Well,
Forever.
she is English. so-
And I would bet you that if we gave her a chance, Whoopi Goldberg could fuck up a response to Wakanda Forever.
I'm pretty sure she should fuck up a response to Picard, but that's neither here nor there.
She fucked up her performance by being part of it. What the hell did she need to be part of that for? She's got nothing but money. She has residuals. She had a successful trilogy of movies in Sister Act, or at least two. There's money there. She has a real contract with the
Admiral,
View.
to put you back on the rails, I don't think you have actually articulated why you're not going to see this movie.
Something
Or
called life. I don't want to take what now is going to be with a 2 hour and 40-minute movie. It comes down to I have work, I have life, I have this podcast to attend to from time to time. I have sleep, which is a great thing. It's a commodity in this world.
Clipping your toenails?
Clipping my toenails
Chewing
is all.
bubblegum?
I
chewed
was chewing
bubblegum,
bubblegum the other day. And let me tell you something. Wakanda Forever, it's not repulsing me in the trailer. It's not making a compelling case. It's not saying spend, in my world, about $25 to $35 on this, with not including subway fare, which is knock around money. But what am I seeing? I'm seeing strange people at odds yelling at each other, dialogue that doesn't make sense, stuff that seems picked from other movies. And I've already been called a bad person on TikTok and had that signal boosted against me. So whatever goodwill I had, and watching the trailer brings some of it back because it's a little appealing. Whatever
appealing.
Whatever goodwill I had.
have to say once again, this is probably one of the best trailers I've ever seen in my entire life.
If I leave the real world and go on Twitter and watch the Wakanda, just open up a Wakanda tab and look at all the tweets, in 5 tweets I won't want to see it again though.
What I'm going to do for you,
Delete Twitter from my phone.
I'm going to see this film this weekend.
All right.
And we are going to reconvene,
Hopefully next Monday.
and I'll bring you my findings.
All right, so we have our uninformed reaction on Wakanda Forever as we home in on exactly a half hour, which is perfect. We hit the sweet spot.
This is our post preview of Wakanda for Never. Wakanda for sometimes.
Wakanda for the second weekend for colonizers.
But you know what's the best? Wakanda for later.
Wakanda for later, or Wakanda on Disney Plus, because who knows, life might get in the way again.
That's actually true. I might find something better to do.
And banging around in everyone's mind is Disney Plus ain't doing so good, Disney stock ain't doing so good, Disney in turmoil with their leadership.
Admiral, you know what is doing good?
What?
Myself. So I might not find.
I'm
2
doing
hours
pretty
and
good
40
too. Yeah, I might be doing too good to be angered by Wakanda Forever, or even uplifted by it. We just don't know.
Well,
The
Admiral,
trailer
it's
does
been
look
great.
good. Everyone should like and sub the Admiral Teag show. And,
Please.
check out my appearance on Anti-Derivative Chill, talking
About
about
what?
Blade Runner, a
The
movie that
greatest
you and
movie ever made.
It is one of the greatest movies ever
It's
made,
the
if
best.
not the best.
It's my favorite, and it's the best, which means I know more about movies.
Blade
than
Runner
you do.
2049, one sentence.
Almost perfect.
Canonical in your mind?
100%. Except,
Okay.
well,
I was left with too many questions. I thought it was really good fanfic.
we're going off the rails, Admiral.
I don't know. I think that movie was very meta and very made for
This
fans.
isn't about Wakanda
but I
Forever.
enjoyed it. We're taking a quick side route to Blade Runner.
What we do is we allude to something we may or may not watch. Then at the end of
We
every
will be
podcast.
watching Blade Runner.
Oh, we're watching fucking Blade Runner, Admiral.
Yeah, and we're reviewing Blade Runner, and we're going to talk about those fights. Captain, I return all of you
Admiral.
back to your world. Escort the chief. Please escort our guests. Thank you guys for coming. We're sending you back to 2022, and please like and subscribe. It's your buddy Admiral Teag and my pal Captain Petty.